So, the one thing that has really been the most deciding factor for me is I was in jail, and up until this point, I had never believed in the Bible. I had developed a faith in God, but it wasn't based in the Bible. I didn't believe in the Bible. I had read the Bible, some bits and pieces here and there, just for general research purposes. And, whenever I'd read the writings, what was the red letters, what Jesus said, those things would always stand out to me whenever I would read the Bible. And when I read the story of, his life, when I'd read what happened in his life, I would feel it burning inside me. Sometimes I'd even cry reading it, even though I didn't even think that it actually happened. I would just have this deep emotional pull inside of me, like, this is so real, so intense, but I didn't believe that it had actually happened. And so, I would even tell people, I'm getting off track here, but I would even tell people, I don't believe in the Bible, but I do think that Jesus spoke the truth about morality better than anyone ever has, ever. And so, that's where I was at when I was in jail. I didn't believe in the Bible. I didn't believe in Jesus. I didn't even think that he had ever existed. And if he did, I thought he was probably, some brainwashed alien guy who was here to corrupt us and take us away from, some other form of enlightenment or something like that. And I didn't believe in him. But, I was in jail and I was in a real bad place. I had, giant, huge bugs the size of, couches, spiders the size of an entire couch, like giant birds like the size of airplanes outside the jail flying around, coming around that could talk, that wanted to kill me, that wanted to eat me, that were chasing me around, that were, trying to pull my sheet off of me that I was hiding underneath on my bed. This was all the stuff that was going around me. I had the jail guard trying to fill my cell with water to drown me. Just all this stuff going on, spending eons and eons and eons in this jail cell and just tormented to death. And I'm sitting there and trying everything, and it pops in my head, the Our Father prayer, the prayer Jesus gave us to pray. And it's still at this point, I didn't really believe in Jesus. And so I just had a sense like if anyone could save me, Jesus could save me, because he spoke the truth. That's what I felt, even though I didn't really believe in him or anything like that or the Bible. And so I said the Our Father prayer, and the second I said the Our Father prayer, the light inside my prison cell immediately got 10 times brighter. A physical, real phenomena. My cell got 10 times brighter. And it wasn't a thing of my faith. I didn't expect this to happen when I said the prayer. I didn't expect that to happen. I said the prayer, it was like I didn't expect anything to happen. I was just hoping something might. And it happened. My jail cell got 10 times lighter. So I said it again. My jail cell got 10 times lighter. My eyes just opened up. And in that moment, in my cell, all I could do was just sit there and just keep repeating it and repeating it and repeating it. Say it in my head one time, say it out loud one time, say it in my head one time. And after a few times, the effects kind of stopped, but it just sustained. It was all of it. It stopped increasing. The light stopped increasing, and the protective force of like all that stuff that was going on around me just kind of sustained. But I would just sit there and keep repeating it. And since that day, in September. It's been a journey to Jesus. And immediately when I got out of jail, like that following week, I didn't believe in the Bible. I believed in Jesus. I didn't believe in the Bible. I started reading the Bible to get to know more about Jesus and everything like that, but it took me another month or two before I even accepted the Bible at all. And it was a lot of research, a lot of study, and even to today, there's like it's still a process. I find myself, the past few months thinking to myself, well, the Apostle Paul, he was just a man, and in his writings, he was speaking the truth, but through his own eyes, and and it's only like I'm trying to tell you is that it is a process, and I don't expect someone who doesn't believe in any of it, not even a God, because I started with believing in God. I didn't believe in Jesus or the Bible, but I believe in God. So if you don't even believe in God, let alone Jesus, and then even the Bible, then I don't expect you to go ahead and say, well, okay, I'm going to go ahead and take the Bible at its word, even though, everybody, all the cool people on TV that say they're smart, are telling me that, they've proven this and that about that, and I've only ever been told that, and that's why it makes sense to me, because I've always been told it, and I see it through their lenses. So now all of a sudden you're going to see it through their different lenses. No, it's not like that. So, I mean, you're going to have to fight demons. You're going to have to fight Satan himself if you want to follow Jesus, and that's the truth. So it's not really for the, I don't know how to say it, because it is for the weak. It is for the meek. It is for the poor. It is for, the lame. It's for all of those. But it's going to be a lot more difficult, if you can't, stand your ground against the demons and Satan that are whispering in your ear saying, the Grand Canyon looks like it took millions of years to form. And you're thinking they're like, it does look like it took millions of years to form. When that's just their lenses, their freaking philosophies about. Don't you think that if right now, the river is going at that pace and we see the sediment deposits at this rate and the erosion level at that rate, don't you think it would have taken this long? It doesn't work like that, and things don't always happen. The wind blows south today at 1 mile an hour. Does it always blow south at 1 mile an hour? It's a ridiculous argument to make that everything always happens at the same rate all the time. And besides the fact, there's a lot of studies that have been done to show that the Grand Canyon could have only been formed in a catastrophic event like, the flood of the whole earth, which was Noah's flood. I'm kind of getting off topic now, and basically you want to know why I think, why I know that Jesus is the way. It's because he is the way. That's why. I know it because it's the truth. And, I have a lot of other stories that I was going to tell you about different spiritual things that had happened to me back when I was just popping huge amounts of drugs, smoking huge amounts of drugs, and then just sitting there and meditating on just thinking about God, thinking about the universe, thinking about spirit, and just reading all the philosophy I could find, reading all the scientific research I could find, just devouring everything there was to know about all these subjects, and just throwing down tons of drugs and just sitting there by myself in complete silence out in the middle of the Central Valley, looking at the mountain range and all the hills, all the clouds going by and the hills, just thinking about all this stuff, and at the same time studying all the science, and then going and having all these spiritual experiences and all this that I did have. And I want to tell you about a lot of those, but I really think that it would miss the point, which is that Jesus is the point. And a lot of the times when we have those spiritual experiences, we're encountering demons. And they come masquerading as angels of light, but they're not. And they'll tell you, oh, there's other ways to be good other than the way Christ told you. But when it really gets down to it, there's no other way other than Jesus. No other way. There is no other way.